betrayed, defeated, banished to the timeless void for 40 years. But at long last, I have returned. And I will burn my name in the firmament, so that when my enemies, when the whole world falls to its knees, to cry out whatever God will hear their pleas, they will see my name etched across the heavens, and know that I, Doomface, have been the architect of their subjugation. All shall kneel before Doomface.
Well, hello there. I didn't expect to be the only one on camera. What has happened?
Fool you! We all left.
You remember like 2 minutes ago when I told you that you were going to intro the panel?
Oh yeah, but I thought you would be there with me, so I was completely thrown. I was like, it'll be Murphy and I, and then we'll introduce everybody. So
well, off to a good start.
Yeah, well, if you guys joined us on the last stream that we did, where we took over Thinking Critical here, I was in control and it was a complete disaster. So this time Murphy is in control, and that's why everything's working so far. So far, we have got Murphy, who is running the Kickstarter campaign and doing a fantastic job. We've had great success. We've also got Drew with us here. Drew is a very prolific writer. He writes so many titles, but the one that I'll bring up right now is Unholy Nightmare, because Unholy Nightmare does have a variant that has the first cover appearance of Doomface.
Damn straight.
So it ties in, and this is a celebration stream. We're gonna see how things go. I've been saving this for the stream. Oh, look at that! It's clipping out.
Ooh, gentleman jack.
This for the stream. Yep. So we will. I don't know. We'll come up with some kind of drinking game.
Ooh.
Man. I mean, my first one was a drink every time we get a new backer.
Oh no. Well, we might be dead. you gotta set it higher. Like even when Max did his birthday stream, and he was like, okay, for every $100 I'll take a shot, and then people were dropping $100 on him, and he was so messed up the next day.
Oh no.
Yeah, he had a lot of shots, but he had a good birthday.
Yes,
well, I will take a drink of my favorite beer that I got for tonight. I will not be taking shots.
No shots.
No, I will kneel, but I will not shoot.
Everybody who gets a friend to come in and back the full set, I will take a shot. This will be my shot glass. This is my Toka Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shot glass. It's a little big, so I'm not going to fill it. When I take a shot, but because I will die.
Oh, I love it.
Yep. So
nice.
There we go. Turtles in time. This is one of the things that I ordered from NECA when they bought Loot Crate. This is one of the things that I actually got, which I didn't get everything that I ordered.
Kaiser, I don't know who that question was geared towards, but yes. So Death Rage was that was the second book that I created for Merc Publishing. Drew was actually my co story developer back with, was it issue 2 that you started with me on? I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was issue 2. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Aaron came when he came in. He became the co-writer. So Death Rage is like it's like the glue that brought us that brought us all together at the beginning. It's awesome.
Yeah, and Death Rage remains one of my favorite projects that I've ever worked on. Like Murphy and I had an absolute blast.
Those trades sold so well at New York. It's ridiculous. I think you sold out of them. Maybe you only
every time. Well, that's the thing with comics. The hard part about like selling indie comics is, when you go to a con and you have a table of single issues, like if you're selling that single issue, if it's like a standard like 24 page, selling, putting any price tag on that higher than like $5 is really, really hard to get at a con unless you're selling exclusives. And especially as an indie creator, like you're at a con because you want to convince people to read the book. And, if you're trying to get readers, like, it's like, hey, here's my $5 comic. So once you have a full series where you can actually sell like a full trade paperback, it just takes you into like the next level of being able to actually make a little bit of money when it comes to conventions and like selling really anywhere. We all just want that beautiful trade.
Yeah, people love to just get the complete story, So
do we want to do anything tonight for like a giveaway? I realize that we should have talked about this beforehand, but here we are.
Yes, well, like everything, it was sort of I hit Murphy up tonight. I was like, you want to do a closeout stream tonight? And then we spent the whole day like organizing it with Wes and trying to like deal with passwords and codes and things like that back and forth. It's like the code is timed out. Like what are we gonna do? And when you're dealing with Wes, Wes is in the Philippines, so he's gonna go to bed early.
Yes.
And or at least early by our standards. And so it's like, did he go to bed? Like, are we screwed? Because I already announced the stream.
Hey, Al, is it Al or is it AL?
AL.
AL. I guess fuck you too. So yeah, I think that we're gonna do a drawing tonight. I think as we go, we can kind of like we're here. We've got 110 minutes. The stream, the campaign ends at 10 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock for California. So we've got just under 2 hours for you guys to go in and either add to your pledge for the first time. There are going to be late pledges available for this since there is going to be a couple months of art production, but there is stuff. There's stuff like the special sets, the hand painted Doomface. Statue.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of this stuff is only going to be is going to end when the campaign ends in 109 minutes. So I think we'll probably give it like an hour, and then then we'll see where we're at and decide what we're going to give away.
Yeah, no, let's do it. Let's have some fun. I figured this is just going to be a really nice like kickback stream. We're just going to watch the campaign. We're going to talk with everybody. We'll answer any questions that you guys have. No super chats necessary. Just although Wes will certainly appreciate it because it goes right to him for letting us hijack his channel. But any questions that you have, go ahead and throw them in there. If you have any questions about the book, if you have any questions about, any of our books or, anything we've worked on or any of our careers such as they are, let's just have a good time.
And we're going to do our first big thank you to Hater Dave and Justin Cox. Thank you guys both for pledging to the campaign.
Excellent. I think that there's a very, very solid chance we're going to hit 18 tonight and thus unlock the Silver Streak PSAs.
That'd be awesome. I can't wait. I cannot wait for those.
You've actually read the PSA, so you know what you know what it's about. But I will tell you guys this: if you guys remember GI Joe, the cartoon, and everybody knows pretty much the now we know, and knowing is half the battle. GI Joe. Yeah, so it's very much in that vein, and I have booked a really great artist for that PSA. So somebody who is you guys will be familiar with in the crowdfunding space as well, probably. So not really ready to announce that tonight, although if we do well enough and I have enough shots, then maybe I will.
AL signed up for Kickstarter to fund Doomface. Fuck yeah. Thank you so much.
Woo! No, AL is great.
A third signature on their Unholy Nightmare. Does it look like an M and then some scribbles? Because you might have there. I think there was only like one or two that I signed that weekend. You might have one of those.
Or it could have been Andrew Dollhouse. It could have been him too.
Yeah, if you ordered it from me and I sent it out to you through the website, then that would be Dollhouse. Riley Rossmo. Grateful Dog says that the guest artist is going to be Riley Rossmo.
Damn it!
Actually, Murphy, you met AL in New York.
Oh,
AL was dressed as Pikachu.
Pikachu, yeah, hell yeah! Hi. Okay, see now even more fuck you then. I think we had somebody backstage. They might have been back there for a minute. I'm not sure.
They'll come back. By the way, special thanks to Josh McDonald for canceling his God Loves Man Kills tonight and directing people our way. Appreciate that. Drew was booked for that show, and I see Josh. Do you think Josh will show up tonight so that I can bust his balls about not reading the script yet? Do you think he'll do it? You think he'll come in?
I'm going to say no.
Yeah, I'm going to guess no as well.
Seeing indie comics like this is great. Modern big two comics are stuck in bad holding pattern. The true innovation is happening here. Fuck yeah, man. Thank you.
No, I think that's. Go. I'm sorry, Drew.
We're not corporate comics. We don't have people do a piece to. These are our books.
Yep, we get to be as creative as we want. We don't have anybody nerfing what we want to do. We don't have anybody coming in. And the great thing about Doomface is like. Even as this book is not crass. This book is not. It's not particularly vulgar in any way. There is a little bit of gore, but it's comedic gore. But I can honestly say that some of the jokes that we have in here would not fly in corporate comics. We would not be allowed to have the fun that we're having. So it's best to be indie, I think, especially the mainstream is so controlled, and you have to be in the right clique to get that kind of work. I'd rather be in the indie space, and I'd rather be here with all of you guys, because in the indie space we believe in respecting the customer, which is something that the mainstream doesn't really believe in anymore.
Well, and I think that leads into how did the original thought for Doomface first begin? Answer. But first, we do have somebody backstage that I will go ahead and bring on now. Whoop.
Oh, good.
Hey, it's Yule Carter, from Fantastic Comics in Berkeley, our friend Yule.
That's right. Congratulations, Aaron. Way to go, guys.
Thank you. I'm really thrilled. I really appreciate everybody's support. It's been great.
I'm drinking to you.
You know what?
I heard you. I had to leave the room just in case you brought me on.
Yep.
So I want to. Oh, look at that, Jack and Coke.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have a Coke in the
What's
fridge.
What's the ratio on that Jack and Coke? Do you think like half Coke, half Jack, or
no?
Not, right?
I think it's about 70. I want to say about 60-40, maybe 70-30, 70 Coke, 30 Jack.
Yeah, 70-30 was my guess, knowing Drew.
We
don't want people to die drinking.
No. Oh, we had a drink here. We have the St. Elmo's Steakhouse here in Indy, and they used to make a St. Elmo's Cola, which is their own Coke, but they put a bourbon in it, and it'd be like an 11%er, and they would put them in a can together. You can drink it. Yeah, it was good. It'd be good for watching football on Sundays. So they stopped making those, but it's like you can buy them separately now. You can buy the mixer and the Coke. How about that? Like, no, I want the damn can.
So what was the question, Murphy? I've already forgot.
How did the original thoughts for Doomface first begin?
Well, so the idea for Notorious KID, Spam, and Iggy, the inflatable iguana, was something that I came up with like all the way back in like the 90s. It was just two characters that I had fun writing about, and I wanted to do a story with. And there was various like one of the things that you'll see in Memoirs of the Void, if I can find the original pages, I actually have some original pages of our first attempt to do that, and the artist on it was Dave Witt. And one of the villains in Kneel Before Doomface, the Lamprey, actually appears in that. So in the 90s, I kind of wanted to do it, but there wasn't really an avenue to do it unless you hooked up with a publisher, or unless you had enough money to put it out yourself and get distribution. So it just always kind of like fell on the back burner. And I'm kind of glad it did, because it's just everything is timing, and everything's about the right time and finding the right tone and the right story. And so when crowdfunding started to take off, I was like, well, what kind of project could I do? And my thoughts had always returned to that, because I enjoy doing comedy and I enjoy doing superhero stuff, obviously. And I was like, man, I'd love to do like a thing like The Tick or the Venture Brothers, or something with like a Sam and Max or Darkwing Duck kind of sensibility. If you look at the page that Murphy has up on the screen right now, where the Lamprey is throwing everybody around, there's a little Darkwing Duck in there that Renzo drew in. I don't know. Renzo and Oscar may join us tonight. They have the link. So if they have time, they will. They may jump in. But I just started thinking about like, what am I going to do? What am I going to launch as my first project? What am I kind of known for? And I'm kind of known for Darkwing and doing comedy, and to a lesser extent, known for Death Rage, which is like a pretty violent but humorous superhero book. And so I came back to Spam and Iggy, and I knew I didn't want to do just like kind of a straight superhero adventure, because there's a lot of that out there. The market's really crowded with that. So I was like, what can I do to make it different? And as I was kind of like fiddling around with different villain ideas for the book, and I came up with Doomface, the idea for Doomface, because I love Dr. Doom, I love Skeletor, I love Hordak, I love all those kinds of those villains. You're over the top kind of villains. And once I thought of Doomface, then I thought of like, okay, well, what if he was banished in the 80s? It's like an 80s style villain, and he's coming back today, so I can kind of have fun with the whole man out of time thing, but from a villain perspective. And once that happened, the book really started to take shape. And then once I stumbled onto Lexi as his major domo and kind of came up with who her character would be, everything kind of fell into place, because Lexi is kind of the glue that holds everything together. She connects she connects Doomface to the world. She connects, eventually she'll connect Spam and Iggy to the story. Like all of these things are going to kind of like filter through Lexi. So that's really kind of the journey that I went on to arrive here. So yeah, I hope that answered the question. I hope that that wasn't too much. All I want to say is shout out to this entire team. You all have done such a kick-ass job for sure. Thank you.
Hold that guy.
Yeah, it's no, absolutely not. As one of my friends who's actually read the script, Drew was invaluable in giving me his feedback and letting me know how the book is, how it reads, because when you do something like this and you spend so much time in your own head writing, like you get that nervousness. You like finally you're like, okay, this is the locked version of the script. And I must have sent Drew like 5 locked versions of the script. Okay, this is the final one. And send it out to people. But you get that nervousness where you're like, I think this is good, but I don't know anymore. Like I've been doing it for so long and in my own little bubble. Is it good? Am I wrong? And I had the same kind of nervousness both times we launched Darkwing Duck. Was while I was writing it, I was like, oh, this kicks ass. And then the night before it's supposed to come out, or before the book's released, you're calling your friends that read it in a panic, and you're like, it's good, right? Like I'm not deluding myself. So.
Yeah,
So
sorry.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
No,
just
go
gonna
ahead.
say, I had a blast reading it every time, and like I said, it wasn't just a blow fest. I gave you my notes. I was telling you like, hey, you might want to think about tweaking this. Maybe want to. How about this? How about consider this? How about that? And my notes on the latter half of the book, and yeah, and it looks like it's going to be fantastic when it comes out.
Yeah, I appreciated all your notes, and it's funny because one of the notes was Drew said chapter 2 seems kind of spam and Iggy heavy, and I was like, oh, don't worry, here's a revised draft with more Doomface and Lexi, where I wrote additional scenes. He was like, oh, okay.
Real quick before we answer Neil's question, we've got 4 more backers already. Sequence 909, GC, Darian, and Kevin Lamb. Thank you guys all so much for pledging. Y'all are all entered in for the drawing that we're gonna do in 98 minutes.
Yeah, let's. Oh man, this is gonna be cool. I love this.
Yeah,
I've never done a closeout stream for my own thing.
Neil says, I'm working on a novel, but one day I'd love to tackle a comic book. Any tips? I have Peter David's book on writing for comics, and it's quite enlightening.
Great book.
Peter David's book is great. I would also say go check out Chuck Dixon's rules for writing comics. He's got like some basic tenets that he lays out that are really, really helpful. I think everybody works a little bit differently, and Drew, you can tell me if you work this way or if you work differently. But what I tend to do is I know what I figure out what my opening is, like what's the impactful opening that I'm going to have, and what's my ending of the book, whether it's an issue or whether it's the story overall. And then from there, once I map those two things out and I do a pagination, which is, basically like it's this little thing that David Hedgecock taught me. And because I'd never done one before, even though I'd written comics, where you have your page breakdowns, and it's just a little thing that is in Excel with each page, and you just put like a few sentence blurb on there of what each page entails. So I'd map out what my beginning was, what my ending was, and then I'd know how many pages I had in the middle to connect the two. And that's kind of like how I approach it. Is that how you do it, Drew, or do you have a different process?
Yeah, it's like I get the idea, and then I start to develop. Like you said, I have a good beginning, I like to have a good cliffhanger at the very end. Grab them, have them come back for more. Mm-hmm. And I hated it as a kid, but I love it as an adult. Got to have them come back from the second part. But after that, filling out the middle after that, and just do like you said, doing an issue breakdown, like how you see what you see happening in that issue, summarizing it, and then after that, breaking it down by page. After that, breaking it down by panel, and just it's a step by step process for me.
For me, I always have I have a really good idea of like world building. That's where I always find that's where I feel the most creative, because I can once I start to kind of put building blocks together of whatever universe that I'm in, I can kind of follow the road that the story is going to take me on. And my problem is that I know how it starts. I know the beats that are gonna get us to the end. And I always know the ending, but it's like the penultimate. It's like, what's that big climactic moment that's going to take us there, is where I always struggle on making sure you hit all of that. And I think a lot of that is just, getting in my own head about oh, it has to be perfect. You have to make sure you tie up every single storyline. And I think one of the best pieces of advice I ever got was from Aaron. And it was just write. If you get caught up on something, just you don't have to do dialogue, just keep going, just pass it. You can come back. And that specific, it was almost giving me permission to say, you don't have to write every single thing right now, because you're going to go back and change it anyways. That really, really helped me.
Yeah, you're not going to have your first draft. You're going to I think another thing I told you was, when you're writing your dialogue, or you're just dump everything into your first draft, every kind of piece of dialogue that you have in there. And then once you do that and you've got your full complete script, then go back and just start to refine it and start to, okay, how do I, this is what I need the character to get across. How do I do this and keep everything that I need them to say, but do it in the, briefest way possible?
Another thing one piece of advice I got early on from Ali Garza was for him, one of the worst words that he could see in a script describing a page was the word "and." He said, whatever you can do when you're describing a panel or page, try to refrain from having the word "and," because when you add the "and" in there, you're adding in another action. So he's got to figure out what all that means. It may not work in one panel when you're doing that. So that really helped me. Oh, what's that?
I would say that was a problem that I had. I mean, Drew and I both came into comics kind of very similarly, where it was like, it's the pandemic. We're all looking for something to do. We're all looking for some like outlet for all this energy. And so, we both ended up writing comics, and, we both had, you had more writing experience than I did. Most of my writing experience was just like personal or creative writing classes. But I remember my dad makes comics. So it was like, he's the first one that got to read my script. And he would send me back. He sent me back his first round of notes, and he's like, "All right, look at this panel. You say they do this, and then they do this. What they can't do both. You have to. It's one shot, and it's like, no, I know, but I mean, like, it's the action of." I'm like, okay, so what's the action then that comes between those two things? Because that's what you should be writing for your artist. And it's like you do kind of have to like change the way that you think about. Think about the medium, because we're so used to film and television where everything is a storyboard, but those storyboards are eventually going to go into motion, where it's like, for us, no, you need to make sure like each moment is impactful as a just a single image.
Yep.
Yeah, that's one of the things that's like a rookie mistake that like most people do when they first start writing a comic script, is they will put too much into one panel. So it'll be like, okay, so the guy kicks the gun out of his hand and then does a backflip, and then he's pulling out his sword, and you're like, that can't happen in one panel. Like, you need to, that's at least 3 panels worth of, maybe more, depending on how you want to pace it out. So one of the things I was really impressed with when I came on and started working on Miss Meow and Death Rage, and taking a look at Born in Blood, which Drew was working on, was that both Murphy and Drew like understood the language of comics, which is the hardest thing to teach. Like, all of the little nuances and things like that are pretty easy, but if somebody doesn't understand things like where their page turns need to be, or what the action is at the end of the end of like, this is where you need to end the page so that it's impactful when you turn it. This is how a double page spread works. You always have to make sure that's on these numbered pages. If you don't understand that, it's harder to get people like to kind of like grasp that. So they clearly had both read enough comics that they had picked all that up. So it was a lot easier to come in and be an editor with them.
Thank you, Archie Comics, growing up. So we have a couple of people in the chat that were having some trouble as coming in, and this might be your first Kickstarter campaign. If it's okay with you guys, I'd like to kind of just do like a quick like how to pledge, if y'all don't mind.
Yeah, do it.
So let me just log out of here real quick. Doomface. Okay, so if you guys are here and you are brand new to Kickstarter, it is super. It's super easy to pledge. So it's gonna look a little bit different here on a desktop versus on your phone, but they have all of the same sections. There are 2 main sections that you're gonna look at. So the campaign, also called the story, is where you can come through, and that's where you'll see all of the different covers. So here we've got the name of each cover with the artist and the tier number with the price. And then the next section, if you are on your desktop, you can just scroll right here on the side. If you're on your phone, you'll just have to go to the top and click on rewards. And then from here, you'll be able to choose which rewards. So I don't know for certain that they will show you the pictures on your phone. It should. But if it doesn't, you can just go back and look at the story page, and that will tell you which cover is which tier. And I also have graphics for all of the sets, so you can see everything that comes with those. You'll choose which tier you want. The first one here, this is a digital. All of the other ones have a physical pledge that includes shipping to anywhere in the world. And then once you choose your tier, then you will get to choose add-ons. Almost everything that's available in the regular campaign is available as an add-on. Ooh, it looks like we actually have a Renzo sketch available. Someone must have dropped one off. So if you haven't grabbed one of those, I would definitely go grab that right now, because those were sold out. So you'll click on pledge. It tells you what items you're getting, and then you can choose add-ons. And once you choose that, you will select your country. You will select your country. Yep. And then that'll give you your full pledge amount. And then when you click continue, that's going to take you over to the add-on section where you can add on. We've got COAs. You can add on any of the other covers. And then we do have, there is a Renzo commission and Silvani commissions left. So if you guys want to grab those are limited to 10 each. This Renzo one, there's only going to be one left. So now is your chance to grab that. And then you'll click on continue. And this is where I'm so happy it didn't have my address there. I was worried that it would just automatically populate. You can create an account right here. I will let you know, if you use Apple, I do not recommend creating your account with your Apple ID because it causes a whole lot of weird issues with the way that Kickstarter and Apple communicate with each other. There was something just like a couple weeks ago, for some reason, like no one with their Apple ID could check out. So if my recommendation, put in your email, make a password. It's going to be a lot easier here. And then once you do that, you will get, I don't have a back button here. Once you go through that, then you will be able to enter in your information, and then boom, you have backed the campaign.
It seems like a lot.
Don't worry, Neil, we're gonna have a separate retailer package for you.
How are we going to work that out?
Well, I mean, I don't think that we need you to pledge for that. I think that just before we go to print,
you need to pledge $800.
Damn, that's a lot of comic books.
You're gonna get a lot of different covers for that.
It's gonna pay off like the Warriors of Plasm. Don't worry. It's a
Oh
lot.
man, you're kidding me. It can't be that bad.
Oh man, Warriors of
I
Plasm?
love Warriors of Plasm. It was underrated.
As a book, it was good, but just like as the way that they launched the initiative, it was like, this is weird. Like they did the trading card set.
Oh,
I
the
remember,
trading cards. I got those somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the whole.
Yeah, no, I
issue.
still own a set of those somewhere too. I found a binder the other day in storage of like all of my, Marvel cards and my X-Men cards and everything from that era. I've even got all of the Ultraverse cards. Do you remember they did?
Wow.
They did like creator cards that was like
I
just
have
a bunch
them
of
right
indie
here.
companies.
I
Yeah,
have
a
them
bunch
right
of
here.
indie companies. Yeah.
Wow.
Wait. You mean the character cards or the cards that they did of all the creators?
Well, no, it was all of the like different indie companies and the creators' characters in one card.
Okay,
set.
yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was a little bit different than what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, so you had like the Ultraverse stuff in there, but then you also had some of the, I don't know if it was, hey Frank, how's it going? I see that someone asked how do they get their comic book signed. There is a add-on to make sure that your comic book is signed. So what we're gonna do is when the book is printed, it's all getting shipped to Murphy's house. And Drew and I'm going to fly out, and Drew is going, and we're just going to sit there, and we're going to have a weekend where we're just fulfilling books, and I'm signing them, and we're putting them together with all of the rewards. So.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
It felt fair.
Did I not tell you that, Murphy?
That's okay. We got I'll set up the air mattress in here. You can sleep with Pancake.
Or I can talk to a certain someone, see if we can get an arrangement like we had for Unholy Nightmare. Let's see what happens with that.
Someone also asked on here, did you ever have a chance to meet George Clayton Johnson? Was a writer on Star Trek, lived in California, also wrote comics.
No, I never did meet him. I did meet Harlan Ellison one time though, and I met him at San Diego Comic-Con, and I told him that I like the aired version of City on the Edge of Forever better, and just to bust his balls. And he told me to go F myself.
Oh my God, we are only $62 away from the 3-page PSA. Thank you to Bungie. I see your pledge here. We also have David Stanlake, Pedro, and Justin and Hector. Thank you guys all so much. I don't know when you last looked at this, but we were at 444 backers when there was 4 hours left to go. So we've gone up 22 backers just in the last like 2 hours. That's
Nice.
so
that is
fucking
amazing.
awesome.
I can't believe that I was like, if we cross 400 backers, that would be great. And then I was like, wow, well, you know what? If we made 450, that would probably be like, the best that I could hope for. And now here we are at 466. That's pretty awesome.
Now, is there I didn't hear the spiel earlier. Is there a chance to buy it after this this ends? Is there something after this?
Yeah. So
I know on
be,
Indiegogo they do that, right?
yeah.
So
late
yeah,
pledges.
Kickstarter just recently added the late pledge system. And so we have that on here. You're not going to be able to get, like I was saying earlier, you're not going to be able to get any of the specialty, like the commissions, the hand painted Doomface statue. That stuff is only for the live campaign because Aaron is going to be painting all those himself, and we need to give the guys time to not only draw the comic but also draw the commissions. But any of the regular covers and some of the base sets will be available in post campaign. And then I think Aaron is probably planning on doing a second chance something or other once we're closer to the finish line.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll definitely do a second chance because there are some people who it's like they've been burned by crowdfunding before. They're a little bit wary about going in, or they've never done it before, and they're like, well, I don't know, like if you guys haven't finished the book yet, I don't know if I want to jump in, or I kind of want to see what people are going to say about it, or you've got those people that have reasons to be a little more standoffish. So when we're like, hey, we're finishing up the book this week. We're looking, we're going to set our print numbers. So we're going to give you guys another chance to jump in. There will be, some kind of campaign for that. I know a lot of people also want us to do something on Indiegogo, like another campaign on Indiegogo or something on Fund My Comic. So, those are discussions that we definitely want to have, but there will be, chances to get in. But this is like the best version of it because this helps us complete the book. And this is where you'll get the most bells and whistles. The people that jump in on the second chance offer, they're not going to get all the stickers or anything like that we're also doing with it. And any of the little, there are some other little tchotchkes and surprises that we have for some of you that we haven't talked about yet. So, but you guys will be getting those. So
I will say this, if you are a late pledge on Kickstarter, I think we're still going to give push goals, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll do some new stuff. And if we do, like if we do a new cover, like a second chance cover, the people that went all in with us, they'll automatically get that.
And then just to show you guys some of that free stuff that people are getting. So we were 8,000. We were funded in less than 24 hours. Holy fuck, that was so exciting. 10,000 that unlocked the 8-page prologues that took us from 24 to 32 pages. And then we have 5 stickers that are unlocked. Iggy unlocked yesterday.
Yep.
So we've got Iggy, Colonel Silverstreak, Doomface, Lexi, and Spam and Iggy. Everyone is getting that sticker set. And then this next one that we are dollars away from unlocking live on the stream is the 3-page "You Want to Be a Man's Man" PSA.
That's right. Colonel Silverstreak is going to be teaching kids how to be men. So we were talking earlier about the knowing is half the battle slogan of G.I. Joe. Colonel Silverstreak has his own. The ending for his PSAs will always be the kids saying, "Now we've learned," and him saying, "And learning is not an inconsequential part of the equation." Silverstreak.
This is a really good question. So can you still add on after you've backed? The short answer, no. I've been doing Kickstarter for, God help me, it's about to be 7 years I've been doing Kickstarter. And I have always used BackerKit from the very beginning. And I think a lot of people that have done crowdfunding are really familiar with BackerKit, even if they don't very much enjoy going over to another site. It's for creators is a really, really great platform for us to be able to go and offer extras, offer add-ons, do upgrades, all kind of stuff like that. With the new Kickstarter late pledge system, they've also done an update on their Kickstarter surveys, which up until recently have been like famously not great. They're not. It's not great, amazing, anything to like guffaw at now. It is very, very simple, which is really nice for first time creators. If you're first time using Kickstarter, first time pledging to a Kickstarter, but it means that there's no options. So we can it's literally just to get your shipping address, and then if you pick like the Choose Your Doom tier where you get to pick 2 covers, we can do that. There is a chance, since this campaign has done really well, there's a chance that we might decide to go ahead and do backer kit just to give us more options. But it's more expensive. It adds a good chunk of costs. And this is also already a very low margin business that we're in. So for right now, I think we're probably going to say, if you pledge to the campaign, pledge for what you want now. If you are unable to pledge, you can do a $1 pledge today. Like Divinity Comics said, thank you so much. Go in, do a $1 pledge, and then send us a message on Kickstarter, and we can set you up to like invoice you later on. We're not going to be shipping this until, what did we put on here, Aaron? Do you remember?
We're looking at I think we've allowed ourselves till April to finish the book. So like we're looking at fulfilling in May.
Yeah. So
we've got a little bit of time, and like I said, there'll be some second chance offers and things like that. If you're broke, I know the economy sucks right now, and I know that's like, we're doing this as the lead into Christmas, and everybody probably spent a lot of money on Black Friday if if they had some to spend. So I get it. And this will be available in other ways too. And when we do the next book, when we do book 2, obviously you'll be able to add book 1, as one of the add-ons for book 2. So, the goal is to keep this in print. The goal is to keep the story going, and to hopefully keep entertaining you guys and keep making you laugh, and keep pissing off the mainstream.
Hey, real quick, we have got a guest backstage who's
I was just about to say, Aaron, I think you're going to have to take a shot in order to give him the welcome that he so deserves. Everyone, welcome Josh.
Joshy Poo!
Josh McDonald! Salute!
I'm here for the... Oh, you drinking? I missed that part. I'll have to grab the whiskey in a second. But I wanted to say, it's the final countdown.
Poor Wes. There's money on that one. We need a super chat for that now, guys.
What are you telling me, Yul? You're telling me... let me do my best Brock Sampson. What are you telling me there, little man? You're telling me you don't like Europe? Now, his would be, you don't like the Zepp? But
Drew, those Ween guys from the Zeppelin records.
That's right. Icarus. Actually, that's the name of the airline in Kneel Before Doomface. That if you saw the Lamprey page, they are fighting in an airport, and it is Icarus Airlines. That's the main airline.
Icarus Airlines.
So think that everything
you would know that, Josh, if you had read the script.
Yeah, no, I know.
There it is.
Listen. I've got stuff that Drew sent me that I still haven't read. I've got Kyle's script that I still haven't read.
Don't worry about his. No, don't.
To hell with Kyle.
Listen, it's on the bottom of the pile. That's all.
Good.
No, you've had a lot. You've had a lot going on.
Yeah, it's been a little cray.
No, so like someone actually said on Perch's video, because I did an interview with Perch this week, and thank you to Perch, thank you to Phantom Pulse for covering one of my obnoxious tweets, but also mentioning the Kickstarter, because those both dropped on the same day, and we got a lot of traction from both of those. Really helped raise our profile and get some pledges in. So thank you to both those guys. But someone on there said that me talking to Perch was the first time they heard the premise of the book. They heard me talk about it, but they hadn't heard me talk about the premise. So if I can just talk about the premise for a minute, for those of you who don't know, Doomface is a villain from the 1980s that was banished in the 80s. And then and by the way, as long as you got me on full screen here, let me scoot out of the way. Look at this great Christmas image here of Doomface and Lexi by Renzo and Oscar. This is our Christmas card for this year. It's gonna be fantastic.
I love that.
Yeah, I was like, I want to do a Christmas thing, and I want Lexi to be dressed in a little Santa outfit and putting the hat and the beard on Doomface, and him just being miserable. And Renzo even drew like if you look at his shoulder pads are like going like, what the hell?
Doomface is
real
on
quick-
outfit, by the way.
Just to answer Meadowland's question, so you can add to your pledge now, but once the campaign ends, for right now, the plan is we're not going to be able to offer add-ons on Kickstarter. If we get enough people reaching out that they want more, that is certainly an option. But for now, if you want to add more to your pledge, I would say go ahead and grab those.
And maybe not. I thought we had passed 18, but maybe we didn't.
Oh,
I'm gonna take another shot when we do.
Yeah,
Hey!
18,044.
Opa!
Cheers!
Cheers.
Whew. That's good
And
stuff.
we are going to say a big thank you to Pedro, increased their pledge. Mr. Newbold pledged for the first time, and Neil.
So
I'm
that
so
is
happy.
that is officially that's the 3-page PSA unlocked. I've obviously had a couple of shots. I could not access that word right away. That is fantastic. I don't think, obviously, with 72 minutes to go, I don't think that we're going to hit the chapter 24-page chapter 2 add-on. Unless all of a sudden I got some high roller friends that came in.
Yeah,
But,
certainly there's a rich person that's like looking to drop some money, right?
Somebody message Pele.
Oh, no kidding, that guy.
So
Surely you have
real
some
quick,
dirt.
If there's anyone out there that really wants to help, every single 400, almost 500 backers get a full other part 2 to this comic. We've got a couple of high roller tiers. There is Total Doom, where you are going to get one of everything in the campaign. You're going to get the Doom bust, which is the Doomface statue. You're going to get this guy. You are going to get every single cover in the campaign.
I like that one.
You are also going to get drawn into the comic. That is a killer deal. $750 for that, limited to 2 spots. And then there is Drawn Before Doomface. If you want to get drawn into the issue, or if you have somebody that you want to draw into the issue, think about it. Think about the best $600 you could spend. Who do you hate that you just want to have them drawn into a comic in some embarrassing, awful, like I heart thing that they hate. I'm not even going to say a thing because who knows who I'm going to piss off.
Yeah, it's very tough.
If like there's somebody that you don't like, and you're like, I really don't like this shaved ape, and I'd like to see him get destroyed in this comic book. You could definitely do it. Here is
see them blown up by a farm animal.
This is the Doom Bust prototype right here.
Ooh.
I've been messing around with it. It's really really nice. It's lightweight. This was sculpted by Blue D, who is one of the sculptors that I work with on some of the other stuff that I do. And so I was like, what can we do to like really kind of make this campaign special and give somebody something really cool? So I'm going to hand paint each one of these and sign and number them. So everybody who pledged will get one of these babies. Everybody who pledged at that tier. So yeah. Good
And
stuff. What was I talking about?
We have 2 of those spots left to get the Doom Bust, and then all of the covers. And then I feel like I'm doing pretty good at this bouncing back and forth on StreamYard. And then we have 2 spots left of the Doom Bust, and then this you get to pick. You get to pick 2, the Memoirs of the Void, and then one other cover of your choice. Really, really good deal on those. So if you want to help, every single 468 backers get 24 pages of story. We're here for you.
I don't have enough of those statues to give out.
I know, right? I can only I'm going to spend the next several months, we can always add more if like all of a sudden people were like, oh, it's sold out and I want in. We could probably do something before the campaign closes. Yeah, I'm gonna be painting these while Renzo's drawing pages and Oscar is coloring pages, and then we'll be lettering. And I guess I might as well say it. I made the deal today that if I hit the 18,000 mark and we added the PSAs with Colonel Silverstreak, the artist that I've contacted and who said he would do it is Josh Howard. So Josh Howard, who does the first book I ever read by him was Dead at 17. Yeah. He does T-Bird and Throttle. He does some other books that I can't recall because I'm inebriated.
Did that one thing, that one time.
Yeah, he did the, he's the guy who did that book with the really good art and but it'll be a lot of fun. And the idea is to continue the PSAs throughout the series. Each one will, there'll be a gag at the beginning that refers back to the previous one. So over time, you'll get to see it build. And then the Memoirs of the Void, that is going to be how would you describe it, Murphy? Like it's a it's kind of a background book.
Yeah, it's a 24 page of the making of. So that is going to be Aaron and I are going to sit down and kind of talk about the writing process, like we've talked about here. Some of the like how some of these covers, they were inspired by. I know this one here has been a fan favorite, so we can kind of probably do a spread that'll break down all the different pieces in here. So it's going to be 24 pages kind of the making of Doomface, and it's really just going to be Aaron's going to just kind of talk about the stuff that went into just kind of the whole creation of it, and it's going to be fun. I personally, like you were talking earlier with David Hedgecock, is really great at doing book maps, and I gotta say it's one of my favorite things about doing designs for him, because it's like I feel like my creativity can kind of like my graphic design creativity can breathe, because I have like such great layouts where it's like I'm not having to come up with the content and then also make it look nice. I can just take the stuff that he has already come and put together, because this is his book, and I can take that and then I can stylize it and make it like brand match and all of that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. If you backed any of the Fun Time Go campaigns, Locker Room, Below Deck, that's going to be very, very much like those books.
Yeah. So David Hedgecock, I worked for him at Ape Entertainment after I was unceremoniously let go from Boom, and David and Brent Irwin, I often say they're the only two guys that ever owned a publisher that I've ever worked directly for the publisher that treated me well and didn't screw me over. So it's past tense. Obviously, we're doing great with TCM Press. We're doing Silent Nights over there. We're doing Depths of Valor. We're doing Unholy Nightmare. That's going really well. But all of my all of the previous companies have all it's comics, baby. So they've all screwed me in some way, either not paying me for invoices, or that's the way the invoice, or that's the way the industry works apparently. But not David and Brent. David and Brent were always great guys. David backed our campaign. He does. I'm too inebriated to say the title. Super Kaiju Roller Derby Fun Time Go, something like that.
you had most of it.
And Miss Mina and the Midnight Guardians, which also looks fantastic, by the Zong brothers. So this is kind of the thing. Is it's like, in a way, like every crowdfunder is your competition, because there's just so much great stuff out there right now, begging for people's dollar. But it's a great time, and I think that the very best people in the industry support each other and promote each other's books and are interested in each other's books.
Yeah, I'm just gonna back that for a second. That a lot of the creators I know that care about the industry itself support other people that are trying to do good work. And whenever you see people that are trashing other talent, maybe it's telling of what they're like.
Yeah, it's one thing to talk about the mainstream. It's another thing for indie creators to trash other indie creators. It's like, hey, do I love every indie creator in the space? No, but like, am I going to trash them? Absolutely not, because I think that we're trying to build something. We're trying to build a parallel industry here, where people can do their best work and not have to kiss anybody's ring. So, I think that's important.
Yeah,
well, there is a couple questions in the comments of people that want to make their own comics and are asking advice. one of the most important things you can do when you're looking to break into the comics industry is support people that are making comics that interest you. Support those comics, help them out, and the chances are, if they see not even just them, one of the biggest recommendations I have to new creators is, like, if you're going to go to Kickstarter, get on Kickstarter and start backing projects. Because, like, if someone comes in and they've never heard of you, if they go in and see, first project created, 30 projects backed, they're going to know that you support the industry and that you support other creatives. And that's also going to help, like, other creators go in and feel like they want to support you. And it's like, we're all a part of a network, and, like, yeah, it can be kind of fucking cliquey, but, like, when it comes down to it, like, we all want to do the same things, and getting in and making relationships with other creatives is the biggest thing that you can do as a stepping stone into the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. It's its own ecosystem, and I think that the people that are gonna survive are the ones that aren't gonna fall to rancor. They're not going to get involved in a bunch of interpersonal drama between each other. It's like, you don't have to like everybody in the industry, but you also don't have to fight with them. You can be above it. And if somebody says something, there was a guy that came into purchase comments and said, your book looks mediocre. And I was like, well, I mean, opinions vary. And then he was like, I said, it's very Dalton kind of philosophy. It was like, opinions vary. And then he was like, it's not my fault your book looks like a knockoff, Empire by Wade and Kitson. And my response to him was just like, well, I mean, I don't know what that is. Like, I never read that, but thanks for your feedback. And maybe in the future, I'll do something that's more to your liking.
Well, I'll say I did read that back in the day, and Doomface is nothing like Empire.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you, because I had not read it. I mean, if it's just a bad guy sitting on a throne, then sure, but it's not like Empire was the first one to do that either.
Yeah.
Is Doomface a Waffle House or an IHOP kind of guy? I honestly feel like it's Honey's, actually.
Oh, I think that's Shoney's.
Shoney's.
Is it Shoney's? Yeah.
Shoney's.
No,
definitely.
Shoney's?
No,
I don't think it has the apostrophe.
I have seen a
maybe
Shoney's or two. I've seen, there's like one or two I've seen out in the wild. Not many, but they still do exist.
I'm going to say that he's a Shoney's type of guy because there was a Shoney's that was owned by Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner. Oh, yeah. And if there's anybody who has a level of bravado that Doomface would appreciate, it would be the big bad booty daddy.
Internet guy asked, is this done, ready to ship? So we have the expected delivery date for this campaign is May. We actually just live on the stream unlocked an additional 3 pages that are going to go into the issue. We are just short of $2,000 away from locking a full 24-page part 2. So obviously, if we unlock that part 2, it's going to take a little bit longer for us to get the issue out. But you already have, 10 pages done, Aaron?
Oh, there's more than that, but some of them are from chapter 2. So like the page with the Social Justice League, that's chapter 2. Lexi in her costume for the first time, that's chapter 2. This is all the prologue here. So that's chapter 2. So yeah, I'd say we're a third of the way done with the first chapter. The reason being that we bounced around a bit because we wanted to show off the different aspects of the book. There was this idea that, like, well, maybe we just start from page 1. For example, the fight with the lamprey, that takes place in chapter 1. The fight with Manaconda takes place in chapter... No, I'm sorry, the lamprey is chapter 2. But the fight with Manaconda is chapter 1. So we kind of bounced around a little bit with the pages that we chose to draw that Renzo chose to draw right out of the gate, because we wanted to show you kind of the full breadth of what the book was. Whereas if we just went page by page, you would have got the prologue, then you would have got the intro to the present day, and we wanted to like bounce around and show you different things. And it was really important to like show Lexi in her costume, since she's on the cover in her costume, and it was important to show the Social Justice League, since that's a big part of Spam and Iggy's side of the story. The conceit being that they're coming to the big city to become big city superheroes and to help. Iggy's slogan is, "It never hurts to be helpful," even though it almost always does. And they're coming to the city, but the problem that they're going to run into is they're going to run into the Social Justice League, who is trying to recapture their relevancy, because it is 2024 and they're sort of like losing their grip over the superhero business, kind of the way that these people are losing their grip over the comic book industry and over the entertainment media, and the things that we're seeing in the real world. So there's a little bit of a meta commentary there about like, what if breaking into the superhero business was like breaking into the comic book industry from like 2014 through 2024.
Big city dreams, big city bullshit.
I'll drink to that. That is some good Jack.
Aaron, who's your dream artist to work with?
Oh my gosh. Well, I kind of am already getting to, because obviously we've got a Kenneth Rocafort cover here. Kenneth Rocafort's been one of my favorite artists for the longest time. From the moment I saw Renzo's work, I was like, man, I really want to work with that guy. And then I got him on some of the Death Rage stuff. And now he's doing the book, and I'm getting to work with him. I've gotten to work with Lionel Castellani, who drew the 5-page Justice League pitch that we did for Justice League Unlimited DC that never went anywhere, if you guys have ever seen that. So there's a lot of artists that I've already gotten to work with. I've had a Brett Booth cover on my Street Fighter story. So there's some cool stuff there. I think that if you're talking about like who would I love to work with that I've never gotten a chance to, and like pie in the sky, J. Scott Campbell, Joe Madeira, God, I love Joe Mad so much.
I'm just thinking about we are really dreaming now, right?
Yeah, we're super dreaming. Yeah, no, like he made it open ended. I didn't think I'd ever get a chance to work with Kenneth. So that is like an unbelievable dream come true. He would have been one of my like impossible gets. There's an artist that does a lot of Street Fighter covers, and he did some of the covers on my Street Fighter Game Gals book that came out. I don't know how you say it. I want to say it's Rake. It's spelled REIQ on Instagram. Like, I love his stuff, and I'd love to get a Lexi cover from him. I think that's a very distinct possibility because I've already talked to him. So we'll see how everything works out. I'd love to get a John Royal cover on one of the Doomface books. So there's just like John. I mean, I've had John's covers on books that we've worked on, Murphy. So it's like,
I absolutely love working with John. He's so sweet. He's always got some anecdote about his dog, or his car that he kind of also talks about like it's his pet, like how much he loves it. It's really I enjoy being friends with him very, very much. He's a fantastic artist. So anyone out there has a chance to work with him, I highly recommend it. Real quick, we're at 469 backers. Nice. JPL, thank you. And if you guys are just joining us, we are counting down. We are officially under the 1 hour mark. There is 55 minutes left to back Kneel Before Doomface on Kickstarter. I will drop the link in the chat again. For right now, we've got 16 people who have joined during our countdown. Those 16 people are entered in for a giveaway that I think we're going to decide here pretty soon what that is going to be. And also, in case you are just joining us and you watched the stream last time and got to watch us fumble through trying to show you the Doomface video, do we want to show the video again for our halfway mark here?
Yeah, it'll give me a chance to go to the bathroom.
Okay. All right. I just dropped the link, so while you're listening to this badass video, go and back the campaign.
Betrayed, defeated, banished to the timeless void for 40 years. But at long last, I have returned. And I will burn thy name in the firmament, so that when my enemies, when the whole world falls to its knees, to cry out to whatever God will hear their pleas, they will see my name etched across the heavens, and know that I, Doomface, have been the architect of their subjugation. All shall kneel before Doomface!
Here we go! You cannot fight, your heart goes still. Heroes think they win, but they never will. The feeling's so hard that he can't be survived. Now behold, that time has arrived. Just imagine how it's gonna feel as you beg for mercy under my heel. Kneel before Doomface, then kneel again. Kneel before Doomface, you are gonna kneel again and again. Kneel before Doomface. Kneel before Doomface.
Oh, okay.
That song is so great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for the single.
Huge shout out to Jim from Weird Science because I believe he did that, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And also, someone was asking, is that Aaron? I do believe that's just Doomface that's voicing.
Yeah.
If you want like an extra little treat, if you go to the campaign, Doomface has been answering questions and posting updates. Here, while we wait for Aaron to come back, I'll read you guys one of these. I have been enjoying these so much. I love meta, in comics. Like, I feel like Fight Club 2 probably went a little bit too far. But I think there's always a place for some meta, especially when it comes to Kickstarter. Aaron, are you aware enough to read from Doomface?
Yeah, you want me to read? I'll read this here. Greetings, hench people. Lexi has informed me that we have crushed another tier as Doomface crushes. Oh, now it's too small. I was having trouble reading it already.
That's great.
Haha.
Lexi has informed me that we have crushed another tier, as Doomface crushes all that dares challenge him. As reward for your financial fealty, the Lexi and Doomface stickers have both now been unlocked for all physical backers. You shall be the envy of your school or workplace with Doomface and his major domo adorning your Trapper Keeper peachy folder or lunchbox thermos, forever stained by your mother's spaghetti. What's that, Lexi? Trapper Keepers aren't really a thing anymore? This assertion seems spurious at best. They are a superior way to keep your arcane scrolls and mephitic texts portable, organized, and convenient. In any case, your continued efforts to drive Doomface's campaign ever higher have revealed a new set of stretch goals. We are particularly looking forward to reaching our 22K goal, where each backer will be granted the generous boon of adding an entire second 24-page chapter to the book, bringing the total story count to 56 pages. Quite the robust tome indeed, and all of it singing the glorious ballad of Doomface, the face of humanity's doom.
Kneel before Doomface.
Now I should have like an echo kind of like thing going, like we do in the video, but
Yeah, we need to get you a soundboard.
Yeah, I need a soundboard so I can do it. Actually, for the second campaign, when we get to the supervillain gala, which is a send up of the awful X-Men Hellfire gala, when we get to that, there's actually an animated intro that I want to do, and with full voice acting between Lexi and Doomface. We'll see if that happens, but yeah, I would love to do that.
I realized just now as you were reading that I said earlier that we were 2,000 away from unlocking that. How do you feel about moving the goalpost to 20 for the stream?
I mean, if we hit 20, it's definitely something we can talk about. You and I just have to crunch the numbers for like what that would make the book and how many we have to print and how many we have to ship. But it's something we could definitely talk about. Like if we hit 20, I'd certainly be willing to have that conversation. For those of you who don't know, I'm not really making anything on this book. It's not the goal to for me to take home a bunch of profit on this book. I certainly believe in profit. I am a capitalist after all, but everything that we make that is above and beyond fulfilling the campaign for all of our backers and making the best book possible. What I would like to do with any, before I take a dime out of this, aside from just reimbursing myself for what I've already put into it, before I take a dime of profit, I want to give bonuses to the art team, to the cover artists. I want everybody who's like helped out and really made this book as beautiful as it is. I want them to reap the benefits of this first.
That told me was a fool for that.
What?
You're a fool for that.
I mean, maybe, but the goal is, because I'm going to be able to sell this into the future, so, I will continue to, that's where my profit on it will come. But, everything I want to reinvest in my team, in keeping my team, and in doing the next book, and in, and just, so everything is going to kind of go into the next book, and to the creative people who helped me get here.
All right.
I mean, I'm not saying like if all of a sudden, like I'm on Friday Night Tights and we hit $100,000 that I'm not gonna, buy myself something.
I want to a big everyone kneel to Jay. Jay just picked up the all shall kneel pledge. Thank you, Jay.
Jay, this one's for you.
Oh my God.
If you guys are watching the stream, or even if you're not watching the stream, you're not hearing this, but I'm sending it into the void. Everyone who pledges for the first time or increases their pledge during the stream, during our countdowns, 46 minutes to go, we are going to do a giveaway at the end. There's a handful of things that we could do.
Josh will come to your house and give you a back rub.
I got magic hands.
Safe. Right now we have 20. We have 20 people that have backed the campaign in the hour that we've been on. Thank you guys so much. Y'all are so fucking great.
The Thinking Critical family is the best. Like I love our I mean, the word community gets used too much. And it gets used for a lot of people that are jerks, but that is not you guys.
This is a good community.
Yeah, our community is good.
We got good gates.
That's right. Our people are good.
Aaron, earlier you were going to talk a little bit about, I think, the creation of. I put you up on the screen. I can't remember what you were about to talk about.
Yeah, stop doing that. There's nothing. Oh man, there's nothing worse for me than looking at myself.
You have given me the power.
By the way,
good luck to you the rest of the way. Come on, people, spend some money. Let's do it.
Love it, Yule. I cannot wait to set up the retailer tier and come out to Fantastic Comics and sit down and sign for the people that come in, and then spend the time explaining what the book is to the people that come in who have no idea why I'm there.
They'll have no idea. Yeah, so the Thinking Critical community, the family out there, anybody that's in Northern California. I mean, it's a big state, so maybe not so easy, but. If Aaron can do it, you can do it. Come on up to see us all at the store.
Yeah, Yule's got a great store. He does. Do you do mail order, Yule? I mean, I know you've certainly done mail order for me, but
I do mail order for my customers and people that talk to me on the show and stuff like that. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
I
Yeah, so
sent
go check
AL
it out,
stuff
guys.
when
Yeah.
AL had that problem with losing a bunch of comics. Oh, but we tried to
We
get
gotta
some
go-
for her.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a comment. Doomface doesn't tolerate PG folders.
You know,
Anyway,
the
peace out, guys.
Doomface
Good luck the rest
responses.
of
Dan, I was gonna, before you left, I was gonna be like the Doomface responses remind me of right when the Final Crisis happened, when they made Superboy Prime like the responder of all the like letters in the letter columns at the end of comics. Like he was,
Oh yeah.
It kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
Yeah, it's funny. Everybody who signed up for the mailing list before we had the campaign sign up, and we were just kind of because I got a really first of all shout out to Aaron Lepresti, who does Wraith of God and Kit Carter. He did Planet Doom, which I kept joking should be Planet Doomface, and we should do a crossover. But he's the one who, I've been talking about this for a while, and he was hearing about it before I had ever announced it to the public. And he goes, well, when are you planning on doing this? And I said, next year probably. And he was like, you got to start talking about it now. And so the first place I ever really talked about it publicly was on his show. And so, I thank him for that. And I think that the year that we spent talking about this really helped kind of build it in people's minds. And they were, so they were really looking forward to it. So it was great advice. And anybody who signed up for the mailing list, everybody heard back either from Doomface himself or from Lexi. So like every email was answered by one of them. So it kind of was a fun little bit for the campaign. And I look forward to when the campaign closes. I look forward to seeing what Doomface says to all the backers.
It's even in the messages that are coming through, because I don't know that this has been mentioned. It doesn't really matter. So this is actually the first campaign that I ran on my crowd control account, because Aaron and I work together so much that it worked out. It worked out best that way. So I have people messaging me on my crowd control account, asking me to ask Doomface questions. And that's how they're framing it. And it's so awesome how like you know this character in this world so well that like it bleeds through the campaign and everyone is just on board. Like they see it, they're like, yes, Neil, Sir Doomface, may I ask? Like, it's so fucking great. It's been so much fun.
Doomface has gathered many henchmen in the course of this campaign. It's been great. And henchwomen.
Said Doomface may have hurt my feelings once.
Good.
Yeah, he'll do that.
Oh, we need to figure out how to do like the video animation character for when you're live, and just do
like Little Platoon. Get my soundboard and like Little Platoon has one that like I don't know how it works, but his Little Platoon's mouth moves along with what he's saying.
Yes, I will ask around, because if we could get something like that for Doomface and do semi-regular Doomface, Q&As, like that would be great.
Yeah, there's that guy on Friday Night Tights. I think his name's like It's a Gundam, or whatever his name is.
Yeah, he does it too. Yeah.
Aaron, I'm going to jump in. Sorry. I want to take a moment to just kind of talk about how much fun it's been watching you kind of develop and discuss. You're full screen again. No.
So much forehead.
Who gave her the power? No, I'm kidding. Just the process of watching you discuss this and kind of bring it to fruition. Because I think so much of this, and I'll let you answer, but I think so much of this stems from not getting good quality stories in comics and having ideas that are good, and also having your experience at publishers and not getting to continue or tell the good stories that are there for insert stupid reason here, that publishers don't focus on that, because we reached a point, and thankfully we're seeing a turnaround in comics. You're seeing a lot of really good indie comics, but if you go back a year ago, that wasn't necessarily the case. We were seeing a lot of just really poorly written comics get executed and put out, and I think that's what pushed so much of this crowdfunding thing to grow even more. But just having so much time of you talking about this concept and thinking of the story and really fleshing it out and kind of bouncing ideas around, not just about the characters, but how it can relate to what we see in society today, but how it can also be fun, because a lot of comics aren't fun anymore. Like, you've put so much time and effort into really digging in and fleshing this out. And I don't think people realize how meticulous, and I'll look, this page that we're on here, not that one. If we go back up there we go. The stuff that's going on in the background, like it was a full-on thought process with notes and changes and what about this and what about that, because there's little zombies back there that are, cleaning. I don't think you guys realize how much thought and development Aaron put into just the minor details. And then, we always talk about our group chat when we're on streams, but just bouncing ideas off. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? I'm thinking of doing this. Is it translating? So I just wanted to throw that out there. Because if people are wondering, well, I wonder if I'm going to get a good story. I wonder if I'm going to get something that's well thought. Like, yeah, this story has been worked. The characters have been worked. They've been tested in a lot of ways. I know the book hasn't been released, but the concept and dialogue and how they speak and how they're approached, it's definitely been kind of tested with a lot of quality people, and it's good shit. So
it's
speaking of quality people, I think we have a pretty high quality person waiting to come on here. Everyone, welcome. Jesse Blaze Snyder.
Hey!
Oh, hang on, real quick. Drew, look at those gams.
How much are we up to on this campaign right now?
18,367.
Oh my God. Well, Josh, I could tell you how much effort's been put into this thing, for how long I've been begging Aaron to do something creator-owned, something that would benefit him and not all of these a-holes around him who keep hiring him and he keeps making millions of dollars for. I want to see this man make some millions of cheddar for himself. So I'm so happy that everybody's been supporting this book, and it is so great. I've been working on, scripts just as a little, editor in the background, helping out from the beginning, and it's just been a joy. It's such a fun project, and everybody will be really, really happy to get this book in their hands. And I'm out with my my girl in California, but I just wanted to jump on to say congratulations on this awesome campaign, and we're going to get at least 20,000, guys. Come on, 20,000. 20,000. 40 minutes. Let's go.
Get your friends on the phone. Tell them you've got to back this campaign. You've got to get
Call your friends. Call people. Shake people out of their comfort of this boring society. Say, you need to kneel.
Yes, here's the kind of the added bonus is, when you're dealing with with Jesse, with Murphy, with with myself, with Drew. Jesse, can you mute? We're getting some background.
Yes, I'm gonna go, but I love you guys so much, and I just wanted to chop in and say hello and congratulations, Aaron Sparrow. You deserve every penny and more.
Thank you so much.
See you all later. Love you, Murphy.
I appreciate you, brother.
See you later, man.
See you, Dylan.
Yeah. So, what was I gonna say?
That was such a Jesse move to just come in, yell a little bit, peace out.
That's right. I'm somewhere very noisy, but I wanted to say this. No, Jesse's been he's been one of my best friends for well over 10 years now. I think since 2009 when I started at Boom. He was the first writer that I hired directly, and we've been friends ever since. But just going back to what you were saying, Josh, and about the planning and everything that went into this, you and Murphy and basically everybody who's here besides me, with the exception of Max, who should be here, but I guess he's out weaving the rich and varied tapestry that is his life.
He's working. I know for a fact he's working. Yeah.
All right. So, but you guys were the first ones who heard about this at Dallas Fan Expo 2 years ago when I started showing you concept art and telling you kind of what my idea was and some of the bits. And actually the bit that we were showing with Lexi in the costume was, I think, that was the first gag, or maybe it was the coffee shop that was the first gag that I told you. The first kind of bit.
Yeah, the first gag that you really went through and like revealed for me was I mean, you'd kind of mentioned concepts, but the first full thing that was the gag you'd mentioned to me was the coffee shop, and you did it in character, which just made it even better. And to this day, that's what, like, I've been sold. Like, I was interested, but that moment I was like, oh, I'm sold. But yeah, go ahead and I'll say more. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so that's so every little bit of this has like been workshopped with Renzo, with bouncing it off of you guys, because it's like I'm like, well, this is funny to me, but does it land? Does it work for the reader? And you guys have given me really great feedback. So I think that people are really going to dig it. If you guys like, and just speaking of like the visual stuff in the background, Renzo is so detailed. I often say Renzo is the only artist I've ever worked with where I've told him, like, you don't have to draw every single background and every detail of the background, right? Like, some of it's going to get covered by word balloons, so you can kind of cheat it here and there. And he refuses to do it, which is great. It's I mean, look at the work that he puts in. And I love that we have these black and white pages up there just to show like the tones. I saw Sigma Comics commented earlier. I don't know if we got his super chat, but HH, he does the book Here Comes Calico, and he recently did a Here Comes Calico manga version. There we go. Everybody kneel before Doomface. Greetings to the panel. Keep supporting indie comics and head on over to Kickstarter now. Great comics await. He's absolutely right. But he did a manga, and I'm looking at this and I'm like, when we have enough pages, I kind of want to print Renzo's art in the black and white, with the tones and everything. Yeah, and print it as a manga and like a manga size. I think that would be spectacular.
Well, Emiliano does this same thing in his ink work, where he'll do the colored ink on top of the base ink to show like depths and like different opacity, or like different kind of effects. And it's so cool how I can look at this panel and see exactly what's happening here, versus if it was just black and white, like your eyes tend to kind of like, they can't like see the depth of things as well. Like, it's little things like that really just takes line work like to another level.
If I'm remembering the line too, the line right before that shot of Doomface blocking all of the gunfire, I think Colonel Silverstreak's line is "Eat uranium depleted freedom, asshole." Colonel Silverstreak, you guys want to know about like how the development of this. Colonel Silverstreak is a character that I created and used to play on City of Heroes and City of Villains. And his gimmick was that, because if you guys never played City of Heroes, it was an MMORPG, superhero style, obviously. But you really like had a lot of detail right out of the gate with your character creation to make all the different superheroes that people were creating look different. And so I would play with that character creator for hours. And when I put him together, when you would speak in the game, like you would type, your dialogue would appear above you in a word balloon so that the people on your team could read it comic book style in a word balloon. So with Colonel Silverstreak, I started logging in on Thursdays and going to the square where everybody would gather to kind of like get together with their groups before they went out adventuring. And I would get up on one of the statues so that I was in full view of everybody, and I would start telling war stories. And after a while, when I would log in on Thursday, people were waiting. And when I would show up and I would climb up to the top of the statue, they would make their characters sit down like they were, attending something. And then I would start the war stories. And it was great because you would see like out in the crowd, as you made something, made a joke or you made a reference or, something that made them laugh, like all these little like lolls and raffle mouths would like pop up over all the characters' heads. And it was really a lot of fun. And so that's where Colonel Silverstreak came from. And actually that's where Manaconda came from too. He was one of my characters in that game.
I have to embarrass someone real quick. We just got another backer. It is Jesse Blaze Snyder.
Hey!
Excellent.
Everyone, say a heartfelt good night to AL. Thank you so much for coming out and hanging out tonight. Thank you so much for backing the campaign.
Thanks, AL. See you Saturday.
AL, it's good to see you. I've been missing Saturday mornings with Wes because of work, but so many of you guys I miss seeing.
I don't like your job, Josh. I don't like how it takes you away from us.
Yeah.
Tell Wes I'll stand in. I'll do backups.
Yeah, no, we do need you to come on, Murphy. Especially like when we start talking about like Damsel 2. And need you to come on and talk about it and talk about crowdfunding and just join in on all the ridiculous topics that we get into. Wes always has a nice list of topics. He's got like 5 or 6 generally. We get through 1, maybe 2, and then a long like side journey into the best fast food or the best candy bars.
The best is watching Wes like just completely like, what have I done, as we sidetrack, and he's like, guys, how did we get it? When he goes to take his pee break and he comes back and he's like, how did we get here? And we're like, you left, dude. Like, I don't know. He's like, I left you with the topic. Like, yeah, but it just,
Yeah, no, it's like he's like, okay, guys, talk about the latest Superman issue, and then he goes to pee, and he comes back, and just as he comes back in, like Doc is saying something like, "So I said to the Monsignor, hey, that's my anus." And it's like, what? What happened?
I'm hoping that I'm using the live stream tonight as my official interview with Wes. Like, hey, look, I can do this. I'm a control freak. I like being the one that makes people big on the screen.
At some point, curses. At some point, Wes is gonna want to take a vacation, and he should have some stand-ins. He should have branch out, Wes.
Yeah, next summer he's gonna need a stand-in.
Oh my gosh!
No one enjoyed
we're all
my
gonna be
pun.
at Dallas Fan Expo.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
No, you'll be there too, Murphy. You'll be in Dallas Fan Expo next year, right?
We'll see. I always like to go back to Dallas. I'm from there. We have a comment. How big of a part will AI play in the future of comics industry in terms of making the creators lazy? And I would like to go ahead and jump in on this, if that's okay. Mm-hmm. Creators love to create. Like, there's never, of all of the things that I wish I could automate, none of the things that I like that get my creative brain working are in that category. Like, it doesn't even have to be like stories or art. Like, I can get really, really into a book design project or a Kickstarter design project. And like, that's what makes me happy. That's why I do this. That's why a lot of us do this. And creators that are going to take AI and use that as a, get out of jail free card to get their thing done as quickly as possible, don't have either the funds or the connections to hire an artist to be able to do those things for them. Which, you don't have the funds, I get it. Save, work hard, get a side gig. Like, there's so many things that you can do to be able to afford to hire artists that deserve that work. If it is you just don't want to do the work and you're just trying to make something as quickly as possible, you don't give a shit about what you're making. You're just trying to sell a product. And that's my 2 cents. True people that truly love making anything, comics, movies, novels, if they're using tools, it is to support them, not to do the work for them.
Yeah, I mean, I think that AI is, it's obviously here. It's inevitable. It's going to move into the space. It's going to, we'll see what shape it'll take. There is always a lot of alarmism whenever anything happens. Remember when NFTs were going to destroy everything? And now look, what NFTs, like, does anybody even talk about that crap anymore? Not at all. But, everybody was going to do those, and you were going to buy some digital image of a monkey, smoking a cigarette with its butthole. And
you know how much energy that takes, Aaron? You know how much energy it takes to create one of those?
How much energy does it take?
I forget. I don't know. It was something about 5 years ago. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, everything about it. So like AI, it's going to, I think that it'll become a tool like anything else. It's not a tool that I'm particularly interested in using because I like working with artists. And I don't think that I would ever want to get away from the organic experience of working with somebody like Renzo, who is going to come in. He's going to interpret the script that I'm giving him, and getting to work together and kind of like getting his input. into the way to lay out the panels and everything. It's the creative process is fantastic. And I'm not somebody, and I know Drew is not somebody, and Murphy's not somebody who needs Chat GPT to give them ideas so that they can call themselves a creator. It's like, if you're doing that, then, you're not a creator. You're just, you are just a product producer. I think that the people that really love to create will continue to do so. They'll continue to do it in traditional ways. I think we'll see the corporate side of things move into AI. And so it'll produce a lot of, very flashy, but ultimately soulless work. And I think that, you'll see independent people like us continue to, use real artists and to continue to work with real artists.
Well, I think one of the most important, pieces of information in this discussion is the fact that it was decided that you cannot copyright anything that is created with AI when it comes to art or writing or anything that falls in that type of IP category. And when you get into making things creatively for a living, you start to realize how much IP laws are what everybody is number one terrified of, and then also everyone wants to have that rock solid IP that's going to be the next, Invincible or The Boys, that's going to be a giant hit TV show. And the people that are just out there to make a quick buck are never going to be able to get that with AI, at least not as it stands now. And I feel like that's been a good kind of wall that is just kind of put up, you can only go so far with it.
Yeah, no,
Sorry.
absolutely.
Oh. Yeah,
go ahead, Josh, because I'm writing back to David Hedgehog on X right now.
Okay, I was gonna say I just saw Perch popped into the comments. So hello, Perch, nice to see you. But he went just back the book already, and I can hear his voice saying it. So.
Well, I mean, when I did the interview with him on his channel, at the end he goes, "Okay, so what's your final pitch?" As we wrap up here. Although, really, if you're undecided on the book right now, what are you doing?
It's an Arby's free comic. You can't go wrong with that. All right.
That's right. Unless Perch wants to pay to have himself drawn into the book, in which case I will make sure to put a big Montana or whatever the hell it's called in his hand, and he will be looking at it with disdain because otherwise, how would you know it was Perch?
We have a couple more thank yous. We're at 476 backers, 22 minutes to go. Mr. Thank you, Mr. And also Joe J. Thank you guys so much for backing the campaign.
Mr. as in the band, Mr.
Huh.
Sister. What?
Herman wants to know, Aaron, did you ever work with the voice god himself, Richard Epcar?
I did not. I have not ever worked with him.
All right, next.
Let's see though. Who did? I'll tell you who. I mean, not really.
Ooh, Aaron Lepresti.
Actually, Doomface. This book almost got an Aaron Lepresti cover. But timing wise, we couldn't make it work out. And then he wanted the script so that he could read it and kind of come up with cover ideas, which I sent to him. And then just yesterday, I hadn't heard back from him. So I messaged him and I said, "Did you ever get?" I said, "I'm assuming with everything you've got going on, you didn't get a chance to read the script." And that's good because I realized I sent you the wrong draft. And he was like, "I did not get a chance to read it." And I was like, "Oh, good, because the draft that you got is not the best one. Let me resend it to you." So I would love to, Aaron, the first artist that I made friends with in comics as a fan, the first guy that was ever cool to me as a little comic book fanboy. I've obviously, supported him in his work and over the years. And he's just been, he and Shelley have just both been fantastic to me. Love them to death. So, I would love to have him do a cover for me. I think he'd come up with something really cool.
Who wouldn't? I mean, I would love to have him on the cover. I mean, he's a guy, an artist. I would love to have any original piece of art he's done, whether it's from Wraith of God or from some Sludge or from Damage or just anything he's done. He's a remarkable artist.
I have a Dr. Doom page that he did. I think it was from an X-Men crossover.
Ooh.
I've got that. And then my convention sketchbook is just filled up with original Lepresti art. Like he's you
Nice.
would think like you'll flip through it and you'll be like, oh, so this is a Lopresti sketchbook, and then it'll be like, oh no, there's a Ron Lim, Lopresti. You know, that's how it goes. There's a Steve Purcell.
Aaron, I don't know if we've actually ever discussed this, but when you're talking about, wanting to work with artists instead of AI, and you're mentioning like you want what those artists bring to the table, is this pretty much exactly how you pictured Doomface? Or once it was created, were there elements in there that you're like, I didn't think of this, but holy shit, I love it?
No, this is very, very close to what I wanted him to look like. So the way that Doomface's look was created was Tim Lim actually did the initial design. If you guys in the chat probably all know Tim Lim from Common America, from Black Ops, from My Hero Macadamia, all the stuff that Tim's done over the years. He did the initial design for Doomface. And what happened was I sent him a bunch of reference. And I was like, kind of like this. And so I was like, I kind of a Hordak kind of looking face, and he brought a little bit more like primeval from the Ghostbusters cartoon with the big gorilla. He brought a little bit of that in there. I was like, but with the hood and then the horns like this. And I said, and I kind of want him to have like living armor that looks like a bit like Bishamon, but not quite so exaggerated from Darkstalkers. And the shoulder pads, because the armor's alive, so it's going to react to him and the things that he's doing, like the armor will have its own reactions, for comedic purposes. And I like the idea of him being Doomface, the face of your doom, and his armor to be covered in faces. So I sent him that, and he came back with the initial design, and it was fantastic. And then when Renzo came on and I gave it to Renzo made it his own, added some details, bulked Doomface up a bit because Tim's version was very slender. And so Renzo bulked him up and added his own flair to it. And now you see this is Kenneth Roquefort's interpretation on the screen here. And so everybody kind of brings their own thing to it. One thing that I was looking at it with my friend Marie last night at the different covers and just kind of going over the campaign. And she goes, Lexi kind of looks different, and every artist's interpretation of her is different. And I said, oh yeah, I mean, everybody's got their own version of her. Like obviously Renzo draws her with thicker eyebrows, and obviously Kenneth's are thinner, and Nate has his own version. So it's really neat to kind of see everybody's interpretation of the characters. And that's one of the things I've always loved about art is, especially comic book art, is when you have a new artist come on and you get to see their version of this character that you know.
Yeah, I love seeing the different interpretations too, because again, like you just get and it's what we see in comics, right? Like, I mean, it's not uncommon for us to see different interpretations, but it's always fun to get someone's take. And I think sometimes that's the excitement when you have new people step into books, is like, I'm curious to see how they approach this. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I've always thought the design was a lot of fun. Like, and it's one of those designs that's kind of done in a way for Doomface in particular that it can be comedic, but it can also be like a little terrifying. Like you can see some potential fear. Like, all right, yeah, okay, I'd be scared of this guy. And it's
some people. Breath. Yeah, some people were like, "Oh, I didn't realize this was a comedy," because when they saw the images of Doomface, he looks intimidating and menacing in many of the panels. Yeah, and I actually called Drew one day and I said, and I read him a sequence from one of the future books, and I was like, "Tell me how this reads," where Doomface actually is terrifying. He has the moment where it's like, okay, it's been jokey up until this point, but he finally has that moment where it's like, it's time to remind you who I am, and it's and when I read it to my friend Marie, she was like, I got the chills when you read that, like she's like that actually, like I was like, oh.
I know we have the. Go ahead.
Oh shit. I was just gonna say I got some great ideas for some covers for Aaron and some artists that we've worked with before that I think would nail some great covers for like that upcoming issue with that line of dialogue. I think make a great scary cover.
There's so many that I want to homage, and so many artists that I want to work with. Like I really want a once we get into kind of because there will eventually be a little bit of a love story in this book, and when we get to that point, like I'd really love to have Sora Sung do a cover, like a romance novel kind of cover. I've wanted to work with her on stuff that was it's different because it's like you have artists that you worked with on licensed books, but then you're like, but to have you do something that's my characters is a whole different kind of ball game.
We could always
try to homage the I want to homage the Captain America cover where Magneto is standing on Red Skull's head. That's eventually got to happen.
I was gonna say if we ever wanted to have fights in our line at a convention, we could try to get a Peach Momoko cover.
Yeah,
I would actually love to get a Peach Momoko cover, and then put our booth next to the most expensive stuff on the floor, so that our line can almost knock it all over, like brawling for the Peach Momoko cover.
Yeah. Jackasses.
So I'd love to have Rini do a cover. Fiendish.
So many
people that
I recently got her books and I still haven't had a chance to sit down and read them, but they're like sitting there and I cannot wait.
I bought her books at New York Comic Con. I can't find them. I don't know what happened to them.
What did you do, Drew? What did you do?
I don't know.
You crammed everything into your bag. Like everything was,
I don't know what happened to them. I gotta go dig through. I can't find them. I don't know what the hell happened. Yeah.
I was just gonna say we have roughly 15 minutes left, a little less than 15 minutes left.
Oh my gosh! Everybody tweet that there's only 15 minutes left to back the campaign.
We're at 478 backers, $18,535, which is just freaking outstanding. Kudos to everyone that backed. Have you ever? I know you've revealed your Injustice League, or not your social what the hell are they called?
The social justice
League.
Led by the White Knight.
I know you've revealed the characters. Have you ever discussed, and it's cool if you don't want to, but have you ever discussed who some of the inspirations are for those characters?
I've never named particulars, but I will say that if you are at all familiar with mainstream industry Twitter drama, you will read some of the lines from the Social Justice League and be like, is that supposed to be? And the answer is yes. The answer is yes. That's exactly who it's supposed to be. I will name a couple of things. There's some dialogue in there that is straight from Mark Waid, straight from Ron Mars.
Oh man.
BJ Walker just backed. Thank you. And also Julie just backed. Thank you guys. 12 minutes left to go.
Julie with a B?
Nope, just Julie.
Oh, okay. Well, it could be Julie Brightcomb. Could be.
Yeah, it's only the first name. This is total kind of a sidestep, but it's on the Kickstarter note. I just got in the enamel the enamel pins for my VIP backers.
Oh, very nice. I want to do.
I don't know why they're showing up at my house at 9:00 at night, a month or two after I ordered them. But
those look so good.
Yeah, they do.
Good.
Do you guys want second chance add-on Doomface enamel pins? Let me know. Let me know what you guys want. I want to do trading cards real bad.
We did some trading cards for Miss Mina that just came in. We did foil trading cards and they look awesome. I have started really enjoying setting up trading cards. It's really fun.
Good. Okay, we need to do it. I want to do stuff too. I want to do at some point. I looked into it and they were kind of expensive for what I thought we were going to make on the campaign, so I didn't do it this time. But as hopefully as the campaigns build, we'll be able to do stuff like Founders coins, because I've looked into that and it's about $3,000 to get a decent run of Founders coins. And it's like at this point I'd rather pour that into the book, but at some point, and I'd love to have a coin that you can only get if you run into me at a convention. And you ask for it, and it's like, bam, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because Drew, you give out you gave us really nice military coins that you've collected.
Yeah, those are
New York.
Those were unique, special, one of a kind coins I had. One of which I designed myself. I think I gave that one to Nate. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are they like challenge coins?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Brian, thank you for tweeting out to your 600 bots. I hope all the porn bots that follow you and send you messages where they go, "Hi."
Dude, I started a Twitter account for Funtime Go because I do their social media, and I was like, I thought we were doing great. I was like, we have 130 followers already. Like, I've barely done anything. This is great. And we started looking. When I went through and blocked all of the bots, we had less than 30 followers left.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Really
you'd be surprised how many beautiful women, especially beautiful Chinese women, contact me on a regular basis and just say hi. And I just
Hi.
usually respond back. Can we just get straight to the scam? I've got like a lot going on right now. I'll tell you what though, there are a couple of people that tried to catfish me that I played along with for a while. Because I was like, do I know this person? Is this somebody trying to like get over on me? And I was like trying to see if I could notice any like patterns in the way that they typed or the way that they responded or anything like that. And I think it just ended up being like random people. But eventually I just outed them. I was like, by the way, when you do these scams, you might want to know that reverse image search is a thing. So, the image that you have on your profile, I was able to find that immediately.
We've got 2 more, Will and Ari. Thank you. 9 minutes left to kneel.
9 minutes left in the ball game. Oh, people will kneel forever, but there's 9 minutes left to record your name in Doomface's Book of Disciples.
Do we want to decide? So we've got 27 people that have backed or increased their pledge since we've been on the live stream for the countdown. Do we want to let them know what we're going to be drawing for? Give people 8 more minutes to go and possibly back.
What are we going to draw for? We don't even know. We haven't even decided.
Do a book. I think we could do have you worked on your duck face remark yet?
I can draw duck face.
we could do a real something big. Give
Kneel
people
before duck face.
I think that's a good one. So if you back the campaign or if you increase your pledge since we've started, and you can do it again, you are going to be entered into get a free duck face remark on your comic by creator Aaron Sparrow.
I will combine the wonder of Darkwing Duck and Doomface into a single character on your book.
And we've got Max and James T. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Man, I appreciate everybody who's backed this. We will not let you down. We're going to do a kick-ass book. It's not going to take us years to deliver it to you. One thing that you can trust is that since Murphy and I and Drew, since we are all professionals who have worked in comics and delivered books and all delivered, crowdfunded books, you're going to get this. It's not going to be one of those things where it's like, 3 years later, it shows up in your mail and you're like, I forgot that I backed this.
Kyle Miller, this will be available eventually down the line. There's kneelbeforedoomface.com. Aaron's going to be doing sales on there once the Kickstarter backers get their stuff. But the campaign, if you back on Kickstarter, is the only way to get the free sticker pack. That's where we're going to have signing. There's lots of good stuff in there, and it really helps us out if you make a Kickstarter account. If you don't, no problem. If you have remorse for not doing it today and you come back tomorrow and decide you missed out and you want go away menu, stop. Come back. What the fuck? I'm not even taking shots. There are going to be late pledges enabled, so you can come back if you guys missed the stream. You can come back and you can late pledge tomorrow. There, let's stop now. There, I'm done.
This would be a good time for me to talk about our side. Huge shout out to our sponsor, Coffee Brand Coffee. I know that you guys are
Brand Coffee.
When I'm at cons and people see me and they go, do I know you? Are you on YouTube? I always tell them that I'm the quartering.
Oh, here we go. If it was on Fund My Comic, I'd back it. So I know that that platform has come up on the stream tonight. It's definitely on Aaron's short list of last chance campaign. So maybe here like spring, maybe that's going to be where we go. I've never used it before, but you know me, I love learning how to do new things.
I confess I don't know a lot about how Fund My Comic works. I think it's Luke Stone that runs that, if I'm not mistaken. Luke Stone Studios, and I hear it's a really good platform. I hear that he's really fair and he takes care of the creators that are on there. I've just never really looked into it. So at some point we will we will probably have a conversation with the guys that fund my comic and see what we can come up with, because like I said, we do want to do some last chance offers. Someone said, are you doing fulfillment yourself or going with a service? I believe we're going to do it ourselves. I think that we are small enough that we will be able to do it over the course of a couple days. All getting together at Murphy's place. I'll fly out to Indiana because, it's like I have to go and I have to sign all the books and everything too. I would love to,
Hey. I do not live in Indiana anymore.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You live, where did you go? Where do you live?
I'm back in St. Louis.
That's right. St. Louis, Missouri.
Yeah, and if you're wondering, like, are them meeting up with Murphy to get books out? Is that reliable?
Hey,
yeah. I'm gonna cross promote there. So yeah, it's reliable. You can rely.
Yeah,
so
we have.
absolutely.
This is my. Oh my gosh, this might be my 40th campaign.
wow.
Mhm.
Hang on.
While you're looking at that, Murphy 40th campaign overall or 40th campaign with crowd control since you launched?
Damn. It might be 39. I have to go and look. No, I am definitely over 40. No, it's 40 total. So just since starting crowd control, which is just over a year ago, I'm at this is my 17th campaign in the last year.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, no, indeed. But I mean, that alone is a testament to what you do and what you bring to the table. Just because you developed a reputation in getting work done even before launching. So when you launched, like, kudos.
Thank you. But I'm not going to take up the last 3 minutes here. There's 3 minutes left back. We have gotten. How dare you talk me up? There's 3 minutes left to back. We've gotten 30 new backers in the 2 hours that we've been live. You guys are so fucking great. Thank you so much. I'm just going to run through Hater Dave, Justin, Sequence 909, GC, Darian, Kevin, Justin, Hector, Pedro, Bungie, David, Neil, Mr. Newbolt, Pedro, Joe, JPL, Shannon, Brendan, Richard J, Jesse, Joe, Mr. Julie, Bradley, Will, Ari, James, Max, and Jay. We got 2 minutes left. If you want to join those 30 people that are going to that are entered in to get a duck face remark from Aaron.
I actually, if I when we're shipping the books too, if I notice that that we're shipping Neil's book, I will write Kneel Before Doomface on his book. That's the kind of love Doomface has for you, Neil. Is that's what the book is really all about. His best friend Neil. It's like no, Kneel Before Doomface.
I think that that's a great side character that like he has a henchman that's just like kind of shitty at his job, but he's Neil. And it just like Doomface just likes him because of that. And he's just a big blind spot. And he's like, no, Neil is fantastic. Neil is wonderful. And Lexi's like, Neil's the worst.
Neil is awful. What are you talking about? Yeah, I think Neil will be the guy that like. So there's a at some point when Doomface launches his campaign to retake the world and remake it in his image, and he does his his Cobra Commander style takeover of all of the screens in the world and citizens, like Cobra Commander used to, citizens of the world, and then he would do his whole thing like, I'm gonna turn everybody into dinosaurs or whatever the hell this stupid plot was. I just always had this idea that he would be like, every knee shall bow, every man, every woman, and then like, maybe have Neil like lean over and start whispering to him, and he's like, what, how many genders? And then when you come back, he's just got this list, and he's like, every fairykin, every infiniqueer, every just like going through the list of all of these things, like just like oh my gosh, we're down 40, 39. Look, we're we're actually in the final countdown now.
Is there anyone here that hasn't seen the end of a campaign? What Kickstarter does?
No, I don't know. Did they do
I've
like
never watched the end?
It's so simple and silly, but it's something that just like I love.
Do clowns come out and throw confetti, or like does it?
Yeah, Rip Taylor comes out and throws confetti. Yeah.
Him and Charles Nelson Riley comes out.
All right, 10 seconds. Is anyone in there going to be our last backer right under the wire? 3,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
1.
Yay! 483 backers brought this to life. Thank you to each and every one of you. I could not be more excited. Jesse's calling me. Jesse, you know I'm on stream. What are you doing? I'm gonna skip his call. I'm just gonna text him. Yeah. Thank you so much to everybody who backed. Whether you were here, whether you were not. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to finish this shot. Thank you so much to everybody.
And with that being said, I gotta get to bed. I gotta be up at 4:30. So, Aaron, congratulations. Murphy, congrats on helping Aaron get across the finish line. And Joshy Poo, I'll see you when I see you. I don't know.
Could not have done it without your support, Drew. Could not have done it without all your help, Murphy. Josh, you haven't read the script. But I appreciate the support anyway. A special shout out to all of our cover artists, from Renzo, who's drawn the book, to Kenneth Rocafort, to Nate Watson, to Lionel Castellani, everybody who came with us on this. Special shout out to Tim Lim and Marcelo Ferreira for some of the character designs. Actually, Marcelo, we didn't mention it on the stream, but Marcelo actually designed Lexi and Notorious KID Spam and Colonel Silverstreak. Those are all his designs based on stuff that I gave him, kind of like this, and he put it all together into some beautiful character stuff. Thanks to Renzo for drawing the book. I could not ask for a better collaborator on this. I really found the perfect person to bring this to life, and Oscar's colors over Renzo's art has just been absolutely fantastic. So everybody who's working on the book, Jesse for helping edit it, all of you guys who've given me feedback, and Josh, even though you haven't read the script, I have run stuff by you verbally that you have given me feedback on. So
Absolutely.
you at least know part of it.
Agreed.
So
and another big final shout out to Thinking Critical and everyone that came out for the stream tonight. Thank you guys so much. Oh my God, we have to do a drawing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Duh.
And you haven't even been drinking like I have.
I'm an empath. Thank you.
I'm very spiritual. I once bought a pack of tarot cards. I'm very spiritual.
That's right.
All right, here we go. 30 people on. There we go.
Click to spin. Ooh. No whammies. No
Press
whammies.
Control
Big bucks.
Enter.
Big bucks. Big bucks. No whammies. Da, 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 da.
Oh. James T.
Gunny Jr. You will be the proud owner of Duckface. Remark on your book. Unless you don't want that.
All right. Aaron, fucking congratulations, dude. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I couldn't have done it without you. I can't believe that this is done, that we did this, that we actually did a campaign, and it's I've lived with this so long in my head. I can't believe it's going to come to life because of all of you guys. Thank you so much. This is the difference between the mainstream, who's like, you're not my customers. The retailers are my customers, or the publisher is my customer, and then the retailer is their customer. That attitude. You guys make this possible. This is why I've always advocated for comic book fans, for the customers, even though it got me, declared Comicsgate adjacent, whatever the hell that means. The reason that I've always advocated for you guys is because throughout my entire career, you guys have been the ones who have bought the books. You have made my dream to create things possible. So I will never, ever take that for granted. I appreciate each and every single one of you, as the industry should, but they don't. So, come where you're appreciated. You are appreciated here. Absolutely love you guys. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for us tonight. Thank you for joining us. And don't forget, get ready to kneel. It's fucking time, you guys.
That's right.
Right.
I can't wait to start giving you updates as Renzo turns in more pages.
Yes. All right. Hell yeah. Thank you guys. Y'all have a great night. Wes, thank you for letting us steal your channel once again. And we will see you guys soon.
Good night, everybody.